and welcome back to Who Wants to Be a Who Wants to Be a World Champion? I'm Chris Tarantula. Before the break, Britain's Lewis Hamilton was leading the championship. He's used up his 50-50 and he's asked the audience. Now, in order to stay in the competition, he's going to phone a friend. So, Lewis, who's it going to be?
Chris, I'd like to call my McLaren teammate, Fernando Alonso.
Hola, Fernando here.
Fernando Alonso, this is Chris Tarantula. I've got Lewis Hamilton here. Fernando, can you help Lewis answer the following question? What is the Spanish word for loser? Is it A, perdedor, or B, lento? Okay, Fernando, the clock is ticking. Fernando, I am going to have to hurry you now. You're almost out of time. Oh, Fernando, you're out of time there. You should have given me the answer. What was the problem?
Obviously, I was ready to answer, but the team held me for 20 seconds. Gareth Jones on speed!
Welcome to Gareth Jones on Speed. I am the Gareth Jones in question. With me, Richard Porter.
Hello.
And Zonk.
Hello there.
That was a very, very gentle beginning to the show today, don't you think?
Yeah, well, it's quite soothing. Is this because you're about to talk about a nice relaxing smoke or something?
Yes! Actually, yes! I read a couple of things recently that kind of got my eye. You know, we've talked about Formula One having stuff like cigarette sponsorship, and we mentioned the idea that we have alcohol sponsorship in Formula One at the moment. Johnny Walker, always have had a bit of that. I saw something recently. I'm just going to read it because it says here, Swiss cannabis. Do you have a train going through your house, Richard? No, someone's skating.
Oh, God, I was going to say, because the tube does run under here, but is it coming up through the ironing board that we're using as a mic stand?
A couple of things I spotted. The first one is this, and I'm going to read it because I wrote this down. Swiss cannabis iced tea, right?
In itself...
is worthy of conversation.
Worth more research right there.
4 words I'd never heard in combination together. Bear with me because this does relate to cars. Swiss cannabis iced tea are the sponsors of Juno Racing's Portugal team driver Pedro Salvador. If you go to the junoracing.co.uk website, there's a picture of the Juno sports prototype, and it's got a great big picture of what looks like a cannabis leaf. Well, it is a cannabis leaf right on the front of the car. Outrageous!
I still want to know what Swiss cannabis iced tea is. I'm still kind of
Job
confused
done.
right there.
Oh, this is
well, yeah, absolutely.
job
Yeah,
done.
there you go.
Well, there's 3 separate intriguing elements in there. Iced tea and cannabis, and Switzerland of all places. Cannabis legal in Switzerland?
The tea isn't legal in Switzerland. It's a bit risky.
It's not criminal in
Coughing
Switzerland.
loudly after
I
7
think it's
o'clock.
deemed decriminalised in Switzerland.
Oh, really? Okay.
For
That would
personal use,
explain-
yeah, I believe it's...
But
and you're allowed to grow small quantities, I think, for personal use in
Now,
Switzerland.
we're not advocating this, guys. We're just saying we're merely commenting.
We're just making a statement of fact about national laws.
But it seems that it's catching on in the motor industry. Ford, they're sponsoring hemp production. Do you know the story, Richard?
Well, no, I did, because you mentioned this to me earlier on, so I went to the interweb and I printed out this thing, which says that a deal between DEFRA, the Environment Department, and Ford, and Hemcore, who grow plants which are closely related, it says, not actually, but closely related to the ones that produce cannabis. And this could see hemp being used as the basis for a wide range of automotive components. The fibrous qualities of the stalks of the plant can be used to make clothes, paper and ropes. None of those things are in cars. I don't understand that. The handbook. Or maybe seat fabrics. I don't know. Ropes?
Well, no, but I had an idea that at least one major manufacturer, I thought it was Mercedes, but maybe it was BMW, were using hemp fibres in some internal panelling. I mean, you know the kind of panels you get in the car,
oh, no.
which is basically like it's sort of hardboardy, sort of cardboardy stuff. They're using hemp fibres.
I'll tell you one, the Volkswagen Fox is made in Brazil, and the rear parcel shelf is made of fibres taken from some kind of banana plant. So it's already going on, but this is the angle here is that it's hemp. I've just actually read a bit more of this thing that I should have read before we started recording, which the Robert West of Kinetic, the technology development firm behind the project. We hope this could become a sustainable way of replacing metals, glass fibre and plastic in making new cars, he said. So there you go.
Well, it probably is a promising line of inquiry. I mean, because car companies don't start using something just because it's fashionable or because they're a bunch of potheads. They're interested in using this because it's a good material, and hemp is something that grows very fast, produces very strong fibres, which are of course biodegradable. So it's good they're finding some good industrial uses for this very useful plant.
What we're saying here is it's a good idea. I think it would be easier if it wasn't hemp, because if it was just potatoes or something, it wouldn't get this sort of huge coverage of like, oh my god, they're using drugs to make cars. It just seems it's got out of hand a little bit.
It's not the first time. I mean, come on, the DeLorean Motor Corporation.
It was never proved, he says, legally. Well, it was entrapment. It was entrapment.
Didn't DeLorean? Yeah, that's right. Yes,
it was entrapment.
Yes, he did agree to.
He's dead now, isn't he?
Yeah,
DeLorean.
Can't libel the dead.
Yeah, mad old
He
twat.
did it all.
So
And his cars are rubbish.
His cars were rubbish. Have you ever driven a DeLorean?
Yes, about 10 yards.
The bloody awful.
They did look pretty
they
good
look
in
great.
the movies.
Oh, well, they look great in real life. They're incredibly low. If you ever see one, I was at the bus stop at the top of this road the other week and one drove past, and they're so low, incredibly low, even by modern standards.
I nearly bought one about 15 years ago.
Did you?
I think for $8,500. I was so close to taking it, but I didn't. I wish I had, actually. But I drove it and I thought, oh no.
Wouldn't you rather have a Lotus Esprit, which is basically the car that the DeLorean was?
Anytime.
Where were we going with that? Oh, just drugs. Drugs in the car industry.
Sorry, we kind of meandered off there again.
Let me just bring
What are we
this to
talking about?
an absolute and careful legal halt, guys. Can I just say, we are not suggesting for 1 minute any car corporation is making cars out of any kind of hemp that might give off any kind of fumes other than the real thing. It ain't cannabis, is it, boys?
No.
Or is it?
Good afternoon, sir. I see you checking out the new Mondeo here.
Yes, lovely car.
It certainly is. It's a lovely, lovely motor car. Would you like to have a sit in it?
Thanks. Whoa, I love this new car smell. Oh, this car is like awesome.
Yes, it certainly is very nice. If you let me in the passenger side here, I can show you some of the standard features. Thanks. Now, this is so cool, man.
Yeah.
It's like totally cool. Oh, dude, I'm feeling kind of hungry now.
What was I talking about?
I don't know, man. I want some yogurt.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at Ford HQ in Dearborn. Sir, urgent memo here. We're going to have to ramp up Mustang production.
What's going on here? We're at full capacity already.
Yeah, but we just got a new order for 100,000 cars from somewhere called the Netherlands.
This episode, Gareth Jones on Speed, brought to you just up the road from my house. And I really enjoyed driving here, Richard. It's seldom that I have... Can you see where I'm going with this? It's a link.
Yeah.
I want to...
Are you trying to set something up?
You just escaped from local radio.
Yeah,
what
it's,
are you doing?
it's vestigial in me, I'm afraid. It's in my DNA.
So anyway, what you're trying to say is, because for the second show in a row, we enjoyed doing the last one so much at my house that we're doing it again here at
I like the vibe.
It's like the Summer
Can't
Road
get you a
Show, isn't it?
regular-
It's brilliant. The Gareth Jones on Speed Summer Road Show. It's not for me because I'm at home, but there we go.
Should we go and do it in someone's house? If you want us to come and do it in your house, if you send us a big flash car, we will... If you're serious, if you send us a great big car, we'll turn up to your house and record a show in your house one day. Should we do that? Can we do that? Can we say that on podcast?
I think we can. We can make that fun. Okay, one extra thing. We do have a rider. You know. We
of
have
course.
some certain basic requirements in terms of
a creaky floorboard. We'll need one of those.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that looked
Yeah,
it.
yeah. A room that's not quite as well damped as it should be.
Yeah,
Yes.
and an ironing board to put your microphone on because you won't have any microphone stands.
And coffee on demand. Has to be real coffee, no instant. I think that's it.
Yeah, and pizza at about halfway through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was going to ask you about favourite roads, because I quite enjoyed driving up here today. I'm genuinely serious about that. My favourite driving experience I'll come to in a moment, right? But I'm going to ask you guys to nail it now. You know, if someone said to you, tell me a great story about driving, you know, what was your favourite driving experience? And I'm talking about not just the car, but the road that you're on as well.
The kind of moment. I think driving a big American car across America is right up there at the top. I have very, very happy memories of being with 3 good friends in a 1972 Pontiac Catalina convertible that we bought specifically to do the trip, and driving down I-95 on our way from Seattle ultimately to Las Vegas. And the 2 moments I think in particular I would pick out, actually driving in Washington State down the I-95 just before I got stopped for speeding, and driving across the Nevada desert kind of on the last leg of our trip, just as we were getting to Las Vegas. Those are fantastic moments.
Yeah.
Now, you were talking about driving within London.
Yeah.
Okay, couple of favourite bits of road in London.
Yeah.
First of all, Kingsway Tunnel. I just love
yeah,
that
yeah.
bit where you kind of come down off the
Yeah.
bridge, and you know.
Do you know what that reminds me of? That's like something from Joe 90, from one of those sets that Derek Meddings did, from even Thunderbirds. You kind of underground London.
Yeah. Also on the underground underfront, the tiny little road, the tiny little one-way road that runs under the Savoy Hotel.
Yes.
Which not many people know
Yes,
about.
I know it.
Which is a really neat kind of shortcut.
On the Strand.
Yeah, exactly. We'll tell you later. And
Just a special passkey to get into it.
you've just got to know where the turning is. I think.
That's just reminding me of
because
something.
it looks like a turning into an underground garage, but actually it's a road.
Whoa,
It's cool.
that sounds brilliant. I was going to say, do you know what the great thing, the unique thing about the road actually outside the Savoy? There's something that is unique in Britain.
It is the only road on which you drive on the right-hand side.
You're good. You really are good.
Thank you.
He's good.
Thank you. Thanks,
He's
sir.
good.
And lastly, the other London road, the Westway, because
yeah.
it is, you know, it's the only bit of road which, in theory, assuming that there was, you know, there were no speed limits, you could actually get up a decent bit of speed on if you wanted.
That's true. I go there whenever I go to my office at the BBC. My office, that sounds like I own it. I mean, the office that I work in at the BBC. Onto the Westway, you break clear of that sort of mush of Marylebone Road and central London. You suddenly break into clear air. Yeah,
It's
it's
just
great.
fantastic.
You
Yeah,
go through, oh
beautiful.
my God, I'm in 5th gear. I haven't done that for a while. Yeah, it's just-
That's funny, I thought you worked for Top Gear.
Oh,
Richard, you got a London driving moment? apart from the
London.
Westway?
I tell you what I did. I had to work really late last week, and I didn't leave my office at the BBC until 1:30 in the morning, and I drove through the streets of London in my little Suzuki Swift Sport, and you know, not driving nuts because I was quite tired, but just enjoying that. Actually, that VW Golf advert that's been doing the rounds, that night driving, and there's a ring of truth about it. Driving at night when there's nothing else around except the odd cab, and you feel like you've got the place to yourself almost. It's great, almost like when we did the London Grand Prix vodcast. In fact, you know, when we got up really early and did that, and you felt like you sort of had the city to yourself. And it's a rare and very, very enjoyable experience.
Absolutely, no, I quite agree. And particularly along by the river, down along the embankment, can be a fantastic drive at night with the bridges all lit up.
Yes,
beautiful.
I tried to work this out the other day, which is my favourite bridge to go over at night. I think it's
Blackfriars.
I was going to say Waterloo. Actually, you get quite a good view from Waterloo. Because you got either way though, because you got up to Parliament and stuff.
I think yes. I think there's some of the bridges kind of more along kind of the west of the river, like kind of sort of Battersea Bridge, which
Yes.
is these really wonderful Victorian
Hammersmith
bridges.
Bridge is gorgeous. Yeah.
Do you know,
We're talking about quite narrow.
guys,
Where have we gone?
it's just, I did some examination of the figures before I came over here today, and we have, bizarrely, apart from the massive amount of people downloading this show in Britain and the United States and Australia, English-speaking markets, we've got a lot of people in Malaysia, we've actually got an enormous number of people downloading in China at the moment. Now, if you're listening in China...
Hello, China.
Yeah, hi. How ring? It would be really interesting to know if us chatting about a bunch of bridges in London is A, completely incomprehensible, or B, quite interesting if you live in China, because you don't get to see them anyway. Now, listen, my favourite bit of London driving is in Shepherd's Bush. Now, I wrote about this in a newspaper. I think you saw this. You read this one. You helped me
yes, I
edit
remember
it.
this, I remember
Yeah.
this, yeah.
There's one corner on the Shepherd's Bush roundabout. If you're coming from the Chiswick side, and then you head round the square and you turn right to get back on going towards Ladbroke Grove that way, right, there's one really tight corner that just tightens. The apex just tightens beyond 90 degrees and kicks around the final bit, right?
Yes.
My old Lancia HPE was built for that corner. I don't know why, but there was something about the way the undulation in the road worked and the rate of the springs of the suspension in my Lancia. But it sort of squat down and then bounced up and tucked around that corner. I wish I could find a better way of saying as if it was on rails, but it was simply the most beautiful moment in motoring.
That's a yellow card there. Got my special
A motoring
car
journalist and yellow
journalist
card.
referees special cards.
Okay, anyone got a bad thing to say about motorways before we go?
The bad thing to say about motorways, with the M6 being the worst road in the whole world, it absolutely drives me nuts. And unfortunately, because I'm from the northwest of England, I have to drive up it quite a lot. But the only thing that's helped that is the M6 toll road, which is actually very good because it's very quiet and incredibly fast. Because I think a lot of people think that because it's a toll road that the law doesn't apply. In some deranged universe, they just go, "Oh, it's all right." I'll go. And I remember the first time I ever used it, I was on my way back from Scotland. I'd been in a story for Evo, and we were driving a Lotus Elise, and one of my colleagues, Roger, was driving, and he does a bit of racing and he's quite handy behind the wheel, and he was just maintaining a good pace, sort of sensible motorway speed, nothing too crazy. And there were cars going past us like nothing. This Audi A2, it looked like it was about to sort of all peel apart because it was going so quickly, just sort of, but straining at the leash. Those A2s were pretty hopeless, and they would probably top out at about 100. And this guy must have been pinning it to the floor to keep it at that. Going past, and I remember just Roger, who's raced radicals and things like that, going, "Oh my God, this road's a bit fast, isn't it?" Because everyone was just driving like crazy. But it is a great road because it's smooth and
it's a function.
Uncongested.
Exactly. It's a function of the congestion in Britain that we're so used to struggling on the motorway, to being stuck nose to tail and not being able to drive even at a rate of sensible progress, you might say. The first opportunity you get when a road opens up, you can't help yourself. It's a psychological thing. You have to go and make up for that lost time. So if you ever get stopped by the M6 on the toll road there for speeding,
and watch out because I believe they have some pretty wacky plainclothes cars.
Is that right?
Yeah,
that's useful.
Well, just some. Someone had told me they've got an Impreza or a Legacy. I can't remember, and they've definitely got a Skoda Octavia VRS, which are quite popular with the cops these days. So yeah, just watch out for anything. If you see like a Seat Penza or something really, really weird, it could be plainclothes police. You never know.
This show is called Gareth Jones on Speed, but we recommend a speed of 69.89 miles per hour on the M6 motorway toll road. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Autobahn UK. Autobahn UK. Motorway. Okay. Hard shoulder. Soft verge. Hard shoulder, soft verge. Midland Expressway, M25, M25. Motorway, okay. Trust House Forte, Road Chef. Trust House Forte. Road Chef. I sit on the right and drive on the left. Cat's eye shine so I can drive at night. I sit on the right and drive on the left. Cat's eye shine so I can drive at night. Autobahn UK. Autobahn UK. Motorway. Okay. Rolls-Royce, German cars, Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Autobahn UK, motorway okay, motorway okay. I go along the contraflow. It takes me where I want to go. I go along the contraflow. It takes me where I want to go. I'm driving slow in the Gatso zone. Autobahn UK, Autobahn UK, motorway okay. This traffic queue will make me late. I might take a welcome break. Maybe I'll take an A-road, dual carriageway, slip road. Lane discipline is not what it should be. Not as good as it is on the Autobahn in Germany. Generally a lower speed limit as well. Although it is a misnomer to believe that the Autobahns do not have a speed limit. They do. They are rigorously enforced. But when there is no speed limit, we are quicker than the motorways in Britain. Motorway okay. Klaus, what is the conversion from kilometers to miles? How do you say Nuneaton? Gareth Jones on Speed wurde für Wisbang von einem Walliser in England produziert.